Hello. This is an update about the project for Swivel. There has been a lot of development since the last video. There's been a lot of things that's been happening, and I feel like we're almost to a point now where we can say beta. We're not quite there yet because we still have some testing to do behind the scenes, but we have come across a lot of development improvements, and I would like to go over a few things. So to start off with the good, Mike himself has actually come out and updated Swivel to Haxe 4, specifically Air for Haxe, which basically allows it so that it properly compiles, it will render, but it will not properly complete. And so there are a few problems that we were having with this for a while where for some reason we couldn't get over this one thing. So we had a couple of ways about how we should go about this. So one thing we were trying to do when we were updating this was trying to see if we could switch the code over to OpenFL. Now, this is not impossible, as I have said last time, and it does seem like there would be a lot of work that goes into it. But we were running into a few issues, and one of the people on the Haxe Discord was telling us that we were doing a few things wrong. Because one of the people on the Haxe Discord named CRobes has made a GitHub that allows us to fill in a lot of the blanks that Haxe 4 got rid of. Specifically something with the file stream.file system error, which was the biggest hurdle that we were trying to get over. And he actually tested it with this code that he made from scratch. And it seems, from what I could tell, that it has been updated, or it will render. Kinda. It's kind of weird. He did say that he tested it out on some Swifts, was able to get it rendered, but then there's other things that we still need to get it working on, specifically with the button implementation, which whatever that is. But hopefully once my guy can figure out what is going on there, maybe we can get something. It goes into a lot of technical jargon. And there's a lot of stuff that has to be kind of manipulated with the code a little bit in order for it to work. But if we are able to get this far into it and we can make it work to a certain extent, then I say that's better than absolutely nothing. So as of right now, I will say that we are really, really close to getting this working. The problem is that he's busy. My guy that's working on it is currently busy with his real life stuff. And, coordination is not the best, but as I have stated, this is one of those, there's no definitive due date. I more designed this as sort of a hobby thing than an actual, full-time job. So, anybody that really wants to chip in and try out this code can absolutely do it. Again, I would completely recommend going for the Haxe 4 code just because now that it compiles and it comes together, this can work a lot easier with Microsoft VR or whatever the hell you use. And I would love to see somebody come in to help us with a Mac port of this thing, because I feel like we're closer than ever getting a Mac port up too. We would just have to do a lot of manipulation with certain things of the code and adding in the final outlines for what there is. As for the other project, which is Scruffle, which is basically taking Ruffle and making it into its own version of Swivel. So the good news is I have talked to a few people in the Ruffle Discord about possibility of doing that. And from my understanding, it is actually possible. We would just need to implement a few things where they specifically said Ruffle already supports image sequence export for testing, so it would be a step away. That's what Mike said. All we would need to do is wire up the audio playback and record the audio to a file, which is possible to do, according to some people who have worked on Ruffle. And so because of that, I would say that the project on that end is not dead. It's just I want to get Swivel running first before I get onto Ruffle, because I feel like Ruffle is going to be one of those things where I would need to convince somebody who's worked on this to help me with it. I don't think that's going to be that easier said than done because of the way that, developers and coders work and everything. But, like I said, anybody who wants to come in to take a crack at the code and see what's possible, go for it. Some people have stated that there are going to be more complications towards how it works. I don't know. It's really weird. The other thing I will say is towards everybody that has come and left this Discord for one reason or another, I do deeply apologize. about the delays, the the broken promises and everything else about this. Again, I was one of the last people that really wanted to do this project, but like I said, because nobody else was stepping up to the plate, I was like, to hell with it. I'm going to give this thing a try. And I want to see somebody actually, I want to see somebody actually update this software, because there's a really good foundation for what there is. And there truly is nothing else like it. And that's what the biggest pain in the ass about this is that because there's nothing else like it, you can't really work off of a lot of documentation and all that, because the main issue is that, like I said in the last video, like unlike a game where you have like a million different documentations of like what to do and what not to do, this you only have technically 1.5. And because of the fact that the code has not been touched in so long, well, okay, not counting the Haxe 4 update. Again, thank you, Mike, from the bottom of my heart. Everything is kind of coming into a really weird position with us. I want to see this thing continue succeeding in any way possible, but until then, I have nothing else really to say except that we are so close to beta. It's just getting over this last little hurdle that we need to do. So, again, like I said before, I apologize towards everybody who's come and left, who's tried to help but couldn't really figure it out or anything else like that. I really wanted this to work easier. Thankfully, it is now easier, but it isn't perfectly easy. But it is a start. So, yeah, with all that, we have just been kind of working our way through this. So 2 more things I like to bring up. First, Discord and the alternatives that are out there. And basically what I'm trying to say is that because Discord has essentially sort of backed off, but not really, their online ID verification thing, which has been proven a million times to never work, and it's absolutely a disgusting practice that I despise. I'm trying to think if I should either use a program called Root or Fluxer, which are both Discord alternatives. Now, I don't think they're going to be as good as Discord as of the moment, but they do have a lot of promise, especially Root. The reason why I want to switch over to that is that if they do start implementing the facial recognition ID thing, I just want to absolutely, get away as far away from that as I can. I'm still using Twitter, Reddit, and if you want to, you can talk to me on my Newgrounds, so that you can, if you have any information or if you want to take a crack at this code or something, or add your own little thing to it, go absolutely haywire with it. I'm perfectly fine with that. I feel like we're so close to getting this down to its perfect state that anybody can basically finish the code at this point, which is perfectly fine. But again, I do not want to do it at the risk of this stupid facial ID scanner thing. So, like I said, if it has come to worse, I will switch over to Root or Fluxer. We'll see what happens as time goes on. The last announcement I would like to make is Adobe trying to shut down Adobe Animate. Now, this does not mean that Adobe does not have the power to shut down Adobe Animate in any way, shape, or form. It is absolutely disgusting how they went about it originally, and the fact that they were just so blasé about shutting it down because they couldn't add AI to its code, which, what it is, take that for what you will. I'm not going to get into the arguments there. I will just say that it's just stupid about the way that Adobe handled it, how they kind of backed off, because, I mean, come on, the backlash was so huge that, you would think that this totally, I want to know what Adobe was thinking with this one and, seeing what it is. I don't want to get into a discussion about this, but still, it's just really dumb. But thankfully, they did back off, so hopefully Adobe can stay around for a very long time in the future to see, and we could continue using Swift files and all that for this, because I did not want this to just exist and then not exist as sort of a giant middle finger to this entire operation. It felt needlessly complicated for something that could have been just very basic to it. But again, what do I know? Anyways, I'm done with the rambling. Sorry if this sounds a little rambly. I'm just I don't really have a script. I just have an outline of things I have to write here and just sort of talk it to a mic. But yeah, if you want more information or you want me to clarify something, please Talk to me. I have all my socials down below. I have the code down below if you want to take a crack at it. Everything is just how it is. Yeah. So have a good day. Thank you very much for listening, and hopefully we can finally achieve this hurdle. Again, all coders and animators are welcome to help on the project. Again, this is more of a hobby than a job, so just, if you feel like you have some hours to kill, like once a week or something, hit me up. I will love to work with you. And one other thing I forgot to mention that I had in my mind was the change of the name. So I'm trying to think of like what to do with this version of Swivel, because much like what Doom did with GZ Doom, or now known as Uzi Doom. Yes, I know how it's pronounced. The thing is that I want to create like a difference between the Newgrounds version and the modern open source version of Swivel, basically calling it Swivel Legacy Edition versus like the modern version. I don't know exactly what I would call this version of it. That's still up in the air, but I would like to at least differentiate the Newgrounds version from the GitHub version. I don't just want to call it Swivel open source. That'd be kind of stupid, but I want a name that kind of works with it. So the Newgrounds version would be Legacy. The modern version would be, I don't know, like Swivel Source or something. I don't know. Let's just say Swivel Source for now, but there might be a better name down the line. So yeah, so that's what I just wanted to add. I completely forgot about that. Anyways, thank you.